Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to this video on the Sagittarius New Moon that's happening on December the 12th. The day after, we also have Mercury going retrograde. So I'm going to take a look at both of those energies today, as well as the main aspects that the new moon is making and how you can work with this in the highest timeline to support your goals and your vision as you move forward. So if you are new here, a warm welcome. When I do these cosmic updates, I'm studying the astrology, and then I'm also sharing channel messages with you from the Akashic Records. So be sure that you subscribe. If you find these videos helpful, share them out with a friend as well so we can get this message out into the world. So this Sagittarius new moon is looking very optimistic. It's supporting your expansion. It really is about dreaming big and connecting back to your soul truth. There's also an element of being aware of the stories you may be telling yourself in your life, the beliefs you're holding on to, and being able to get rid of the ones, release the ones that are no longer helpful, no longer useful, no longer aligned with your highest path, or just simply beliefs, thoughts, stories you do not want to take with you into 2024. This is a really, really powerful reset. So we're going to dive right in here to the chart. I'm going to share my screen so you have a visual of the energies that are at play here. And so we have the moon and the sun at 20 degrees of Sagittarius, and we also have Mars at 13 degrees of Sagittarius, which is very much contributing to this energy as well. So Sagittarius, with each of the zodiac signs, I always have like a saying or word that comes to mind that really captures the energy. With Sagittarius, it is the freedom-loving adventurer of the zodiac. So this is where it fits in with the stories and beliefs we tell ourselves as well. Are they keeping us boxed in, or are they supporting us and feeling more emotionally free? And it is also one of the most, if not the most, optimistic sign of the zodiac. Like, it's always about the next adventure, the next opportunity. Now, the shadow of this can be the continual chasing or thinking that our joy, our well-being, our happiness is found in the next adventure instead of found exactly where we are when we learn to tune into that frequency and cultivate that experience within us. And then as we learn to embody that frequency of peace, of abundance, of joy, of whatever it is you're really desiring, and that becomes part of who you are, you take that with you wherever you go. So this new moon is a good opportunity as well of reflecting on any area in your life where you're feeling the external needs to change or look a certain way before you can maintain that feeling of peace and well-being. And remember, you actually have the power to do that in this moment and every moment. And yes, it can be a practice cultivating those emotions, learning to shift our energy and embody and align with the frequencies we want to experience. But we all have the ability to do that. So, very hopeful energies coming in here. Now, Mars in Sagittarius is also adding to this picture. Mars is very happy in a fire sign because it loves to move forward, expand, take action, move into new possibilities. So it's very supportive of reaching any end of year goals that you have. If you have certain goals or intentions that you want to achieve before the end of the year, this energy here with Mars is very supportive in moving in that direction and really getting things going. Now, some of the aspects here are very interesting. The first one that's really standing out is this trine. And we have the moon and the sun trining the north node and even Chiron. Now, these are not exact, but I do feel they're in the picture for sure. And it also brings in more fire energy. Fire energy really is about taking action. Fire energy is about knowing our power and shining in our truth. Coming home to our truth is a big part of the Sagittarius energy as well. It is the truth seeker of the zodiac. So it's coming back to what really lights you up, to looking at what adventure actually means for you, bringing you back to your truth. So this aspect here with the North Node and Chiron, and trining this new moon really is about the new direction you are moving toward, where you are now going. It's a very forward facing energy. And Chiron here is the wounded healer. So is where we can carry pain and insecurities, trauma from early on in our life experience, or even past lifetimes that were meant to alchemize and turn into our greatest gifts and strengths this lifetime. So Chiron and Aries here, conjuncting the North Node, is that reminder to not allow those insecurities to hold you back from following your intuition or following the path you know you're here to walk out in life. Like, we all have those insecurities, those doubts, those fears, but they don't have to stop you from progressing, from aligning with your highest path. And, we're always going to be doing that healing work. There's always a deeper layer, but we don't want to get stuck where that is all we are doing. Like, I'll often tell my clients, you have so many beautiful gifts and talents to share exactly where you are now. There's always more that you can learn and expand into, but you also have so many beautiful gifts, like exactly where you are today, that you can share. And, from that space of knowing we are enough, then yes, it feels good to learn more, to gain more knowledge, to continue doing that healing work, but not from a space of because we're not ready yet, but from a space of we desire to learn more, to attain new knowledge, to do a deeper level of healing. And Sagittarius really is that. It wants us to seek out knowledge and wisdom and to continue growing and expanding. It's not just the adventure in terms of travel, although it really does navigate over that, like physical adventures, places we want to go, things we want to see. It's also very much about like that mental exploration of bringing in new knowledge, new information, and even how we turn that into wisdom. And we turn that knowledge into wisdom when it is embodied, when it becomes part of our experience. And it really is about experience with Sagittarius as well, our lived experience and the knowledge and the wisdom that we gain from that. So this aspect is quite powerful here. And anytime the North Node comes in, and because it's also a trine, it's a harmonious flow of energy, a harmonious flow of fire energy, giving you that boost. And also with the North Node, it is really looking at moving forward on your path. So the last couple of months, and even coming out of eclipse season, may have been a lot of releasing, healing, letting go of those old patterns, those old cycles. And now it's really looking at, well, where do I desire to go next? What do I desire to do now? And to, again, really come back to like your truth around that, your definition of success, your definition of adventure, your definition of expansion. What does that mean and look like for you, not for your neighbor, your friend, your mentor, your client? This is about coming back to your truth. Now, another aspect that's really going to help you with this is Mercury. So we currently have Mercury in the sign of Capricorn at 8 degrees, and the day after the new moon, it's going to go retrograde. There's a lot around Mercury retrogrades that people can freak out about in terms of travel or tech stuff or misunderstandings. And Mercury does govern day-to-day travel and communication and technology. So it's not like that comes from nowhere. We've had that experience. We've seen that happen with Mercury retrograde. I just like to work with these energies in the highest octave, the highest timeline possible. And there's such a deeper way to work with Mercury retrograde than just worrying about those misunderstandings. So, or delayed travel plans, which also don't have to happen when Mercury is retrograde. But what it really does in the highest octave is give us deeper insight into our unconscious programming. What is really running the show for us? What is really creating these results in our life? And it gives us the opportunity to reflect more deeply as well on what those patterns are, what's supporting us, what isn't. Now, in the sign of Capricorn, this can really relate to our relationship with work and success and achievement. So I actually think this aspect is so helpful that we have this retrograde as we wrap up 2023, and it doesn't go direct again until January 1st. So we're also beginning the year with that aspect. And then there is the 2-week shadow phase as well. So it's really helping you look at, how do you define success in your life? What does that mean for you? And are you aligned with that in your actions? It's become such a powerful topic of conversation with all of my clients as you're growing into new income levels, as you're releasing programs into the world, really looking at, does this feel aligned and good for you? Why is it that you want this? Because when we're operating from those soul intentions, we're going to feel more fulfilled than from the ego-based goals of, I'm doing this because I'll feel better when I have more money. I'll feel better when I have more clients. Like, no, you get to tap into all those emotions now. You are already worthy. You have access to joy. You have access to the frequency of abundance now. It's not in the future outside of you. You can cultivate that now. So it's really looking at basically what's motivating you as well. And is your worth caught up in those external achievements? Where is it caught up in those achievements? Because our society, does a good job of putting those programs in place where our worth is dependent around what we are producing or what we are achieving, what we are earning. And none of that is ultimately true. That's like such a big illusion that we can all get caught up in. So this retrograde can help us see through the fog, clear through that, and really look at what we want. Now, it's also going to retrograde all the way back into Sagittarius. So from the 23rd until the 1st, it's going to actually be retrograding in Sagittarius. So when that shift happens, this is where we can really look at what brings us that feeling of joy in our life. What are we expanding into? And that element of our belief systems and stories, which are very connected to Sagittarius, the stories we tell ourselves about what is possible in life, who we are, the stories we tell about other people. We get to have deeper insight into all of that and let go of the ones that are just not useful, just not helpful, just not aligned with the vision you have and where you desire to go. So beautiful reset with this retrograde here. And again, that's happening the day after the new moon. So we have all these beautiful intentions we're setting, a lot of fiery energy supporting us, and then the chance to more deeply reflect on what it is we actually desire and what is needed to get there as well. Mercury can also help us with the planning. Like, what do we need to change in our life? What needs to be rearranged in order to get us from where we are to where we desire to go? Some other things I want to take a look at here. The ruler of this moon is Jupiter. So we have Jupiter over here at 6 degrees in Taurus, currently retrograding as well. So Jupiter ruling Sagittarius takes on a lot of the same archetypal energy. It's the good luck planet. It's very much about good fortune and abundance and adventure and expansion. So you can see why this new moon is a very like feel good kind of mood boosting energy. Now, if we look a little deeper, we want to study the energies and the sign that Jupiter is currently in. So in the sign of Taurus and retrograde, it's definitely a conversation around our values, what we value. It is also the big message I'm hearing from the Akashic records around this is the willingness to persist toward what it is you want. With Taurus, there is a stubbornness to that energy. The upside could be the persistence, the willingness to put in the work to get to where you want to be. So with Jupiter there, it is really looking at putting in that work, persisting, even if it doesn't look like things are coming together in the way that you want. digging a little bit deeper, persisting a little more, asking if is aligned, looking at what the work actually means. It's not just the action. The work is the mindset work we do. The work is the healing work we do. The work is the persisting toward the goal when it feels hard and challenging. When things feel easy, it's easy to keep going and keep showing up. The real work is how you show up when you're met with those obstacles and challenges. And that's why obstacles and challenges are also those portals of initiation, if we allow them to be, where you can really discover who you are and your strength and persevere toward what you want. So that energy is quite significant here, especially where it's retrograde. It really is looking at your core values that are driving your actions, that are dictating your intentions and your goals, reassessing some of that. There's definitely some inward reflection here with this new moon as well. The other aspect is Uranus is also in Taurus right now, and it's making a quincunx. So that's that dotted green line here. If you're watching the visual, that's a quincunx that it's making with the new moon, and it's almost exact. So I do want to take a look at this. So Uranus is the liberator. It helps us break free of what is no longer serving us and expanding into something new. It doesn't care about comfort or the status quo. It's all about that evolution and allowing ourselves to continually evolve, to keep up with what we want, to keep up with who we are today, to keep up with our vision. It's that evolution. So, this quincunx energy here is interesting because I think this Uranus energy is very supportive of the Sagittarius energy and that fiery passion of like building momentum, expanding into something new, taking action. But they're in a quincunx because Uranus is also currently in Taurus, and Taurus is a fixed earth sign. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign. Very, very different energies at play here. So again, we're bringing together the fixed earth energy of being willing to persist toward what it is we desire to create with this fiery energy of like, let's go, let's do it. So there's certainly a strength that can be cultivated here, a boldness that can be cultivated here, but most certainly a call to expand. It's going to be uncomfortable if you're not keeping up with where your desires are leading you, you're not keeping up with what you really want. It's like this energy just won't support that any longer. It's time to move forward with those dreams. Another aspect actually that's really standing out here is with Neptune. So we have Neptune squaring this new moon energy here. So I actually like the energy of Neptune and Sagittarius together because I feel like even in the sign of Pisces, it's very much about imagination, allowing ourselves to dream, not getting caught up in like day-to-day routine that eventually feels very mundane and very boring. It's about looking at like there's so much more at play in the world and allowing your imagination to guide you, to lead you. Like your imagination, it's not just child's play. It helps you see beyond what is to what is possible. So when we shut down our imagination, we lose a part of that magic. So the more that you tap into that, the more you can open up to the magic of life as well. Now, because this is a square formation here, it does signify a point of tension. So you're wanting to move forward on your path. You have this vision of what you desire to experience, perhaps as we wrap up this year, any end of year goals, but also the bigger picture of the new year. And Neptune there can make those details feel a little bit hazy, like you don't have all the steps in place that you may want or that your mind thinks you need in order to feel safe. And this is an opportunity to really trust your heart, to trust your intuition, to just be willing to take the next step. As you take the next step, the fog begins to lift and then you see the next step. It's only when we think we need to see all of the steps that we actually become paralyzed and we don't move forward at all. So it's just about the willingness to lean into what's next. And then what's next, and trusting the universe is supporting you with that. And if you're letting your intuition be what's guiding you to those next steps, then you're going to be led to your highest path because your intuition is connected to your higher self and to your soul's truth. So there's a call to really trust your intuition here. Now, Neptune is now traveling direct as well. And I also think this is significant because it is an element here of taking action toward your dreams, like not just letting them live inside your head, but you're actually like actualizing them. You're making the changes needed in your life. Because with Neptune, and Neptune's one of those planets that stays retrograde for a long time. So it went direct on December the 6th after being in retrograde since June 30th. So we have large chunks of the year where Neptune is retrograde. So with this recent direct motion and now interacting with this new moon energy, it is definitely about that willingness to say yes to the dreams in your heart. Like your desires are a glimpse into what is written in your Akashic records, waiting for you to claim this lifetime. They're there for you. And the like infinite intelligence wants to be expressed and experienced through you. And part of that is you answering your desires, saying yes to where you are led. It's so powerful for the planet when we do that, when we don't judge ourselves for wanting what we want and we allow ourselves to lean in and say yes to it. So I'm seeing this as a time for action. Be intentional about that action. I think with the Mercury retrograde, it doesn't mean we don't take action. It doesn't mean we don't make decisions. If anything, we can actually sit and go a little deeper and look at what we really want and be intentional about the decisions we are making instead of just, what is the word, impulsive impulsive about what we are choosing. We can stop, be intentional, and hear the truth of our spirit, the truth of our soul guiding us forward. So really beautiful energies at play here with this, or what other things jumping out, this opposition with the ruler of this new moon, Jupiter, opposing Venus. This could be helpful people that are coming in that are supporting you on your path as well, whether that's just information that they have for you, guidance that they have for you. Powerful connections can come in if we are open to that right now, especially with Venus and Scorpio. It's like transformational connections can come in if we're open to receiving that help and that guidance. So that is our Sagittarius new moon. Share with me below, what are you manifesting in this energy? I also want to invite you to join me for this Friday. I'm doing a free call. Actually, this is a paid call on Zoom. And it's going to be about journeying into the Akashic Realm, where I'm going to guide you through activations and clearings and energy practices to help you manifest your best year yet. So I'll be bringing you back to your blueprint for success in the Akashic Records. So connecting you back to that energy. And then from that space, really supporting you with clearing out any density, any old patterns you don't want to take with you into the new year. And then also just aligning with the intentions that you have, the goals you have for the year ahead. And doing this work in the records is just so transformative. So I'll share the link for that below as well. All right. I am sending you so much love. Enjoy these new moon energies, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.